Come on, babe.
What's all the niggas want your cards? So what's all niggas need one of your cards?
Sir, please stop.
That boy count big. I mean, that boy phone big, man. That one knocked out.
Ain't nothing in there. It's all gone. What?
Coral reef.
You said we don't?
Because of the weather, we're going to somewhere else.
Oh, switch spots. Glass bottom boat. Appreciate y'all showing up, man.
That sucks.
Appreciate your Amazon. Sun Red, what up, sis? Yeah, you made it just in time. We fresh on this thing. What, Puka? No, look, Daddy live, Puka. Daddy can't let you use the phone.
I can't love you.
What's wrong, buddy? Calm down, buddy. Oh, they right here, Sun Red. I got my daughter, son. Chance. Chance. Chance locked in. Chance. Well, Van. Chance. Hey, son. Stop.
Sorry, get over here.
Come on, get over here.
Sorry. Let's go.
They coming around. Yeah, he coming around. He got all the tickets. They're coming around with the stroller up. They're pulling up.
Oh, wait right here.
Yeah.
He right here.
He right here. Come on, Puka, give me a hand. Go. That's why they were doing that, yep. They said we can't stand up? Huh? Yeah, we gonna stand up. I said, yeah, we gonna stand right here.
everyone, and welcome aboard Ferries Friday Key West. Before we get underway today, I want to talk about our trip a little bit, the destination that we have, and our conditions before we leave the dock. I believe everybody's aware that we do have a change of destination from what we normally do. But I want to go over it again, make sure everybody is on the same page. We don't want to take somebody out to do something.
What she say? We gotta sit down. She just said we gotta sit down.
Now, normally we would take you all 6 miles south of Key West into the Atlantic Ocean to visit our barrier reef. Unfortunately, over the past, on and off, for the last couple of weeks, really,
You gotta wait.
the east and south is
Huh?
And when you have that kind of
Wait till we
wind
pull
out
off, though.
over the open ocean,
Don't let up, cause it's jerking. They say,
you
who?
stop at the island today to visit our
Star's gonna sit down.
Now,
Who gonna sit with her?
things like this,
The girl gonna sit
we
with
do
her.
have another spot.
Oh, I ain't know.
We're gonna go 7 miles.
I thought you was finna let her sit. That's what I was saying.
Into the bus we're protected from Mexico.
You wanna go right there?
He is a
Do you wanna go there?
in our barrier reef.
You wanna sit down?
We've got our barrier reef. We don't have those large corals that grow one on top of another for those mountain structures like you see in our brochures. But we do have our coral parts. We do a lot of the same soft coral. We do our sponges out there as well. Everything though goes side by side, just like it's taken.
See you, Memphis. Appreciate you, man. Tasha, hey.
This kind of wind though, it's impossible to
Oh yeah, Sunred. She just got there straight for the trip. Can't hear. She can't hear spending up all the money. Y'all have a better view once they take off. They want us to sit down until they take off.
It is clear enough that we'll be able to see all the little fish, but it is not listed. Doing this just to make sure everybody is aware of where we're going and what our conditions are out there. This doesn't sound like the kind of trip that I have today. If you have your work set on the barrier reef and finding out about it, I'm giving you the option right now. Change your mind, you can get your money back, or schedule for another day.
We'll have a better view, y'all. We got to sit down before they while they take off. Sit down, sit down. Come up here then. You don't want to sit down? Well, get up. Wear your shoes. You got to sit down. You can't get up. Sit down or get up here and sit down.
As to that by sound, it is against rules. In fact, you do see some of the side, I should have remained overboard. Keep your eyes on that person while someone else gets one of those items in the water. Get them back on board as quickly as possible. Males have life jackets on board in the main cabin. They're all the way forward under the bench seats. Up here on the upper deck, there are the 2 life boxes with the room. As well as some more inside of the house itself. Those are all fairly marked. We do have a couple of favorite little placards on top of the main cabin that explain all our safety procedures, including the use of those life jackets. We do have a couple of rules on board as well. First of all, they're running at any time.
What up, Keith?
Please keep in mind.
It's gonna be a better view, y'all. They want us to sit down before they the boat take off. Then we can get up. They gotta see through. You can see through the bottom of the boat. They want everybody to sit down until we take off.
Please remember that there's handrails. They have
Sit down.
so sitting, standing, climbing.
Well, go sit down. You can't get up, Spooker.
Please don't jump in the waves or swing from the handrails, and no standing on the bench seats either. This does apply to everybody. Doesn't matter how young you're old, big or small. Please do not climb on the handrails or stand on the bench seats. Everybody inside and outside of that main cabin must keep their feet flat on the deck at all times. It's also a good idea to keep all of your body parts inside the vessel at all times as well. And finally, if you would like to smoke, you are welcome to smoke on the back deck downstairs behind the main cabin. You will see ashtrays there in the smoking section. You ask if you have a vape or
Sit down.
e-cigarette,
Sit down. Because you can't keep getting up. Sit down.
also verify the absolutely mandate that being said,
They don't have any. Tell mommy.
the only thing the federal government allows you to smoke would be nicotine-based products, nicotine cigarettes, nicotine vapes, etc. Everything else must remain on the top. And if you do smoke, please make sure you use an ashtray.
They need to come on and take off. I'm ready to see some.
Alrighty, we are going to go ahead and get underway. I'd like to ask everyone to please.
Appreciate it, Valerie. We definitely enjoyed it. It's our last night. We leaving in the morning, taking that 6-hour drive back home. All right, they ready. We'll take off. People in the back. Let's see. You gotta sit down, Poopa. You gotta sit down. They finna go. Tell you, girl, let me doing all that running. Look, everybody looking, trying to see what's going on. No, I can have a better view. Appreciate you, Angela. Definitely appreciate it. I'm enjoying. I'm having a good time. It's my first vacation in like 6-7 years. A mini vacation at that, because my next one gonna be real long.
Alright, Captain Carrier's giving us the all clear. You guys can move out the boat now. Feel free to come upstairs or out to the bow. This small basin that we just
know where I'm going.
This is between the Pier House and Ocean Key Resort. Two very popular places to watch the sunset. But perhaps the most famous place here in Key West to watch the sunset.
You go up front? You want to go up top?
Right in the square, 2 hours before sunset, you'll find local talents, artists, and craftsmen.
Oh, the front? Oh, come on.
If you come to Mallory Square and join in,
No, I think we just go right here. I think we can go out here.
a musician, magician, a contortionist, and an installationist.
I gotta watch my phone. I gotta hold my phone. Wait, start. Come on, start.
Back in the 1800s, it was a coal war for coal steam to reach. One of the most famous ships to take on oil coal here is the USS Maine. On February 15th in 1898, the USS Maine received its last load of coal.
You okay, Puka?
Departing for Havana, Cuba.
Huh?
That is where she mysteriously exploded. No one knows what happened or who was responsible, but this explosion is said to have led to the Spanish-American War. Another Navy carrier, Pier B,
Puka, smile, Puka.
was in fact here that the first explosion back in 1969. Mallory Square, Pier A, Pier B, and the Navy Vault that we'll see here in a moment are all sites used by the cruise ship industry. On average, Key West plays host to about 10 to 15 cruise ships a month. The large open basin on our left was at one time home to 2 squadron diesel-electric submarines underneath our draft support vessels. But before the subs could come into Key West, they had to call on the Army Corps of Engineers to dredge the area out. The Florida Keys are surrounded by some extremely shallow water. Back then, the depth of the harbor was only 15 to 20 feet deep. And the Navy needed it more to be like 35 to 40 feet deep. So the Army Corps of Engineers came in and dredged the channel leading into Key West and the harbor. They ended up with so much dredge spoilage that they piled on some of the shallow sandbars, creating the islands you see to our right. They also added over a mile of land to Key West. All the land in the foreground, all the way to the tip of the island, is land that was added to Key West in the dredging days. Also in this basin, you can see the highly decorated Coast Guard cutter number 35. It is now a maritime museum. It was in service for over 50 years, through the World War II, Korean War, and the Vietnam War. We don't have any naval ships calling Key West home anymore, but occasionally the Navy will bring in transit vessels for R&R and supplies. The Navy also lets the cruise ship industry use the pier as well. In front of us, you can see islands for as far as the eye can see. I think it's commonly thought that Key West is the end of the Florida keychain.
Watch
Key
out,
West is the island further south, the end of U.S. Highway 1.
Watch out.
The end of the freshwater pipeline, and the end of civilization, but not the end of the Florida Keys. The Florida Keys extend another 68 nautical miles west, where the true end is with a group of islands known as the Dry Tortugas. There sits one of our national monuments, Fort Jefferson. It is a massive red brick fort whose construction was begun prior to the Civil War. Oddly enough, though, as far south as it sits, it was held by the North and not the South during the Civil War days. In later years, it was used as a military prison. After it was retired, it was turned over to our national park system, making it the most remote and least visited of all our national parks. But if you don't have a day to spend to get out to the Dry Tortugas, but you want to see the fort at the same time period, you can do that right here in Key West. Behind us, you can see a one-level brick structure known as the remains of Fort Zachary Taylor. A part of our state park system every day at 11, you can take a guided tour through the fort. However, though, you might want to make a full day of it, though, because just on the other side of those Australian pine trees, and part of the state park is one of Key West's nicest swimming beaches. What makes it so nice for swimming is the fact that you only need to go out a few yards, and the water drops off enough that you can easily go swimming and snorkeling.
Come on, Puka.
There's even a couple rock jetties that attract some of the tropical fish.
Come on, go.
Full concession area, freshwater salads and parking for you. All the way out to the coral gardens. Be sure to scan the surface of the water. It's possible to spot one of the 300 bottlenose dolphins that caught Key West home, and even some sea turtles. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Get your hand out your mouth. Go back there with mommy. Go. Go over there with mommy. Go. Go, she going out there with you. She said she want to come back out with you. I'm trying to look through the glass. Salute, fam. I already know. Start running, come on. Stop all that running. Appreciate y'all hitting the like button, man. Appreciate everybody tuning in, man. Checking out my last day of vacation, man. Down in Key West, man. Headed back up, Braden and Sarasota. 6-hour drive. This was a much needed vacation, man. Work hard, man. Provide for the family, let them enjoy themselves. Ain't that right, Puka? Yeah, you see it. Trying to see some fish or dolphins or something. Hey, big. Come on. Go. Yeah, I'm back up. We're gonna let him take a picture, y'all. Yeah, let him take a picture. Puka, move. Let him take a picture. Uh-huh. Stop. on, Puka. Come on. I'm a little scared to drop my phone, boy. Hey, so you get up here? We're good right here. I'm holding that boy like this too. Strong grip. Hmm? No, I ain't going. No, I'm talking about to the rail. They wanted me to get to the rail. Like, that man, I got his thing on a stick like this, way out here. You gotta get her, cause I don't want her climbing the stairs going like this. She already scared on every movement. Appreciate it, Natinko. Thank you, Toya. Appreciate y'all coming in, man. Appreciate y'all hitting them like buttons. This is my last day on vacation. We leaving in the morning. Coming back into Florida, getting up off this island. We coming back though. This is a beautiful island. I didn't know it was that much stuff you can do on the island. Come on, Puka. Puka. Come here, give me your hand. Give me a hand. What? Like change? You know what I'm saying? Change what? Dollars? Dollars? Yeah. Get down. Hold on, let me go in here. I don't want to blow away. Yeah, go in there. I ain't want to blow away. What you need? Nah, you gotta get in there. What that shit is? It's not Come on, Puka. You see it? Thank you, Pearls. Appreciate it. We definitely enjoyed it. Beautiful memories. I loved every second. You like it, Puka? You like it? Yeah, water, you see it? Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Watch out. You want to go up top? Huh? Okay, wait till they come. Uh-oh, excuse me. Where they go down, we'll go up. Stop touching with that stick. Come on. Y'all go ahead. Give me your hand, Puka. Wait, wait. Stop running. Sit down. Don't run. Get over here, Puka. Puka out here on the islands, 3 years old. I wish I could have been on the island at 3. Puka, you okay? You okay? Huh? You want a good cookie? Okay. We're gonna go back down and get you some cookies. Wait, not enough, Puka. Come on, not enough. Wait, stop.
When it does it, it's like making like swirls. It is going in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it would rain.
Thank you, Pamela. Uh-huh. But I believe it, Cedric. Gotta enjoy it, man. We ain't got number one life to live, man. Especially for these little ones, man. Sunset. Huh? I don't know, they said an hour or something. What time is it? She driving the boat with her foot. She eating and driving with her foot. Whole family, 1, 2, 3, cheese.
Thank you.
Yeah, vacation over with, man. Headed home tomorrow, man. Back to work. Back to content. I gotta I did a joke. I did a big dude joke pack number 3, y'all. I'm gonna do a joke, a riddle joke pack too. Yeah, I used to do a lot of riddles and stuff too. Like one of my popular ones was the say the number after I say it. That's one of the ones I had came up with a long time ago. When I was teaching math for like 4 years, teaching math. Well, we way out here. It's a long swim back to the island. The Long Island. They got the little short ones. Trying to take a picture? No, why try to let her take a picture? Oh. Stop, Puka.
Y'all want to take a picture? Yeah, take a picture.
All right.
Wobbling?
Yes, it is. Y'all want to go back down? Huh? You want to go back down? Come on, Puka. Give me a hand.
American General.
You okay? Hold my hand. Here, hold her hand. Hold her hand. Yes, you can. Hold on, Puka. Hold on to the rail. I don't want to fall overboard. You holding on, Puka? Just a step at a time. She going so fast, before we go overboard, she might not even miss us. They gonna keep going. Go. In here, go, Puka, right here. Come on, come on. Mesmerized. And cookie? How much the cookies? Right here, Puka, here. Go tell mommy to open it for you. Oh. Thank you. Call it. Chance knocked out. It's all gone. Yeah, you ate you one. It's all gone. You had one, no more. Only one, okay? Wait till we get home. Wait till we get back. Okay? For sure, Pearls. Yeah, watch the stuff. Thank you, Asa. Asa. Hope I ain't pronouncing it wrong. Appreciate y'all hitting them like buttons. Trying to share this beautiful view, man. My last night in Key West. Headed back home tomorrow morning. Got a long drive. Just so a lot of y'all didn't know, like coming to Key West from where I stay, Sarasota, Bradenton, Florida, we had to cross 42 bridges to get here. And the last bridge to get to Key West out of Florida is 7 miles long. I just learned that yesterday. 42 bridges to get to Key West, and the last bridge was 7 miles long. Oh, Asa, okay, thank you. I did good. Finally not missing somebody's name up. Stand up.
Probably noticed that we're slowing the boat down. We're going to continue to slow it down as we make our approach to the shallows of the Coral Gardens. It's a big good time for you to go ahead and start making your way down.
Give me a hand.
Now it is pretty calm out here in the Gulf of Mexico, but anytime you're on a boat, you do want to make sure to use handrails. That's what it's about. We got plenty of handrails.
Step up.
Once you're into that,
Man, I gotta go around.
See two viewing wells. You started at 3 sides of the carpeting.
Oh.
Some of you can take a step down into that carpeted area. Move yourself down as far as you can. Filling in all the gaps, and then use that area just like a seat. Squat right to let your feet dingle over the side, down towards the glass. That's going to get you a lot closer to what we'll be doing out here. It's also going to make it possible for anyone alien on the blue bench seats behind you to see right over your shoulder. We do have a big group, so we do need everybody's cooperation. If you're in that carpeted area, please use it like a seat. If you're on the blue bench seats, you can kneel on those. Don't swing your legs through.
Thank you.
That prevents somebody from sitting in the carpeted area. Please don't put her up the area with backpacks, purses, shopping bags, things like that. Again, we want to make sure everybody's got a good spot to do their meeting. Now looking through the glass all around the boat, we do have some beautiful conditions for you. To enhance your viewing of our ecosystem, you happen to have the best narrator in the business. That's Hannah. She's extremely knowledgeable about the ecosystem, and she's more than happy to share that knowledge with you. If at any time you have a question for Hannah, feel free to get her attention and ask away. Keep in mind, though, this is a narrated tour, so any comments or questions you might have for your family or friends, we do ask that those be done in a very low volume. And cell phones. You get time to go ahead and turn those off, or at least turn them to silent. In fact, all electronics should be on silent. Everybody's going to want to hear what Hannah has to say, so if you do feel the need to have a cell phone conversation out here in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, that's fine. We just require those to be taken outside. And speaking of outside, if at any point you want to get back outside and get some fresh air, you're more than welcome to do that. You're not required to stay inside that main cabin. We do ask then that if you move yourself in or out of the main cabin, please close and latch the doors behind you. Also keep in mind this is a National Marine Sanctuary, so absolutely nothing should go over the sides of the boat. And we're all set up, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thank you, Captain Carey. How was your boat ride, guys? Good. Well, any day on a boat's a great day, right? Now we've already seen some sergeant majors, some hogfish, some parrotfish down there, so keep your eyes out for those. I'll tell you a little bit about those later. Now, I'm going to start with where we brought you. We brought you 7 miles west of Key West. And well, we brought you out to Cottrell Patch Reefs. Now we use a channel called the Northwest Channel. It's a naturally occurring channel, and it's anywhere from 18 to about 20 feet deep. Now that's not very deep, but this channel is very important to us here in Key West because our shrimping fleet loves this channel. It saves them about 100 miles, which in boat terms, that's a long time. Now, our search and rescue vehicles, some of them will also use this channel, as well as our research vessels. But the large cruise ships, they cannot use this channel because, well, they do tend to stick down under the water deeper than 20 feet. So they have a draft that's deeper than 20 feet. Now, we brought you out to Cottrell, and we named it Cottrell because, well, the largest mangrove island you see off to our starboard side, our right side, well, that's Cottrell Key, Jeremiah Cottrell. He was a captain of a light ship. Light ships, well, they were the things that helped guide ships before lighthouses. Yeah, Captain Jeremiah Cottrell, he was in charge of this light ship, along with his crew. Well, in later years, he became friends with the wreckers here in Key West.
What?
And those wreckers, well,
Go tell mommy.
when a ship does land on some of the shallow bottoms, they come out here and collect the supplies and bounty that ship was carrying.
Around.
And now if you were caught being one of the wreckers, well, punishment was hanging. So Jeremiah Cottrell, he became friends with these wreckers, and as you can see, there's some conflict of interest because he was in charge of the light ship. Now he would point that light ship in a way that would make other ships run aground, and he'd tell his friends back in Key West to come on out. There's a few ships that ran aground. Those wreckers, well, they collect all of the bounty. Now legend has it that his crew got scared that they were also going to be punished, and they decided to hang him themselves on Cottrell Key in one of those mangroves. Well, more likely, he was hung out at Mallory Square, where the sunset celebration is.
Go back over there.
Now those mangroves, they are islands, but they are trees that go into the water.
Why you try to catch it, let it fall? That's why I was
Now they do drink the salt water. That is how they survive. And they actually sacrifice the leaves in order to drink the salt water.
Get her.
So they'll filter all the salt out and push it all the way out to the leaves. And the leaves will die, fall off, and they'll produce new leaves. And that's how they survive. Now, people have asked me, do people live out there on those islands? No, nobody lives out there in those islands. And, well, the only thing that does live out there are the birds, the lizards, the fish, and the crustaceans. Now on the other side of those mangrove trees is the Atlantic Ocean, the second largest body of water. And as most of you know, the second largest body of water is thousands of feet deep. But to me, it's pretty amazing that you can walk between those mangroves. That's how shallow it is between each one. And you just have to go a few miles and it gets extremely deep. Now let's talk about what we're looking at. Let's start at the top and work our way down. The glass, I get a lot of questions about the glass. Is it tinted? Does it magnify things? And well, no, it's neither nor. How do I know? Because I go down there and clean it every day. But the green color you're seeing, well, that's the color of the Gulf of Mexico. And there's algae in the water that makes the Gulf of Mexico this green color. Now the glass is 1.25 inch plexiglass. So it's the same stuff that your snorkeling mask would be made out of. If you were to go snorkeling, a lot of y'all know that water is denser than air, which means everything down there is about 25% larger or closer to the glass. That's why sometimes it looks like we're gonna hit one of those coral heads. But don't worry, Captain Carrie's one of the best, and she knows exactly where we're going, so we won't hit any of those. Now, one of my favorite things to talk about when we come out here are the sponges. That's because they tend to thrive out here in the Gulf of Mexico more than they will do in the Atlantic Ocean. So we see a lot more of them out here. Now, y'all have probably already seen our encrusting sponge. It's a bright orange sponge and it encrusts onto other coral or rocks. That's how it grows. And we have a sponge down there that sort of looks like a vase that you would put flowers in. That's called our vase sponge. By now, as you can tell, everything down there, its common name has some characteristic or attribute of that organism. So it's going to be pretty easy to tell what I'm talking about. It also does have its scientific name, but those are in Latin, and I don't speak Latin. And well, if I was, it would be about 14 syllables long, and y'all probably won't remember it. So we're just going to stick with the common name today. Now another one, if you want to get up close and personal with it, it's called a barrel sponge. We actually have one back here on the counter, and it looks like a barrel. And then my favorite sponge out of all of them, it sort of looks like a spare tire down there. It's called a loggerhead sponge. It's a black round one. Now y'all can probably guess who eats this. Our loggerhead sea turtles. And well, they're not actually after the sponge. They're actually after the things that are living in the sponge. Now the sponges are very porous, which means it's a good home for tiny creatures to live in, such as tiny shrimp or tiny crabs. They'll go live in there, and these sea turtles, well, they actually want to eat those tiny shrimps and crabs. So they'll take a bite out of that sponge, chew it up, get all of those tiny organisms out of there, and we'll spit the sponge out. So if it looks like something took a bite out of the sponge, well, it was probably one of our loggerhead sea turtles. Now these sponges are actually animals as well. They're a very important animal down there because they filter the water. They are capable of filtering anywhere from 20,000 to 50,000 times their size in water. Now, if you were to go down there on one of our snorkeling trips and put your hand over the sponge, well, it would feel like that sponge was pushing out as much water as a garden hose. like somebody had turned on a garden hose. Now they can filter anywhere from 20,000 to 50,000 times the size of that sponge in water, which that's a lot of water. Now these sponges are about 500 million years old, which that's really old. And I wanted something to compare this to. So a lot of you guys know the dinosaurs. Those guys are about 300 million years old. So that means that these sponges have been around longer than our dinosaurs. That's a pretty long time if you ask me. Now, a lot of the stuff down there that's waving back and forth, those are actually not plants. Those are animals called coral. Now, there are two types of coral down there. There's hard coral and there's soft coral. All the stuff waving around down there that looks like plants, that's the soft coral. And the rock and boulder looking stuff down there, that's the hard coral. I'm going to start with the soft coral because that's what we see the most out here. So, there's all different kinds of soft coral. The stuff that sort of looks like ostrich feathers or plumage of a bird, well, that's called sea plumes. That yellow stuff down there. And there's stuff that looks like sort of round, kind of like your fingers. And it's yellow down there. Those are called sea fingers. One of my favorites, there's one that looks sort of like a purple piece of lettuce. But whoever named it thought it looked like a fan that you'd fan yourself on a hot, sunny Florida day. And it's called sea fans. Now, this soft coral, it is pliable because it's made out of the same, sort of the same protein that your fingernail is made out of. So, if it was to break
You're
off
welcome, Pamela.
in a hurricane or such thing, well, it'd actually just disintegrate in the water. There would be no skeleton left behind. Now, unlike the soft coral, the hard coral, if that was to break off in a hurricane, well, you would actually see the skeleton. And that skeleton, it takes calcium and carbonate out of the water to make limestone. So it looked like a white rock down there. Now, there's all different kinds of hard coral. There's a coral that has the same grooves and ridges as your brain. That's called brain coral. And there's one down there that we see a lot. We're in a big pile of it. That's called muscicas, well, or an elk coming up out of the reef, and that's called staghorn coral. Now, all this coral, it does house our tiny little animals that give it that color, called coral polyps. Now, these coral polyps, they sort of look like upside down jellyfish. They have tentacles that reach out into the water to help them feed at night because they are nocturnal. Now, these coral polyps, they do like to eat the algae in the water. It's called zooplankton, which just float around in the water. Now, they only get about 20% of their food this way because they only have tiny mouths. They have a slit-like mouth and a tiny little coral polyp. And 20% isn't that much. So, how do they get the rest of their food? Well, they get the rest of their food from another algae called zooxanthellae that actually will go and live with these coral polyps. And it's a plant, so it does photosynthesis, so it produces all the food and the oxygen that it needs, that the coral polyps need to survive. And then the coral polyps produce all of the carbon dioxide and waste material that zooxanthellae needs to do photosynthesis. Now, these coral polyps, they're very sensitive. They're sensitive from everything from ocean temperature, ocean salinity, ocean acidity, and a lot of human interaction. So one of the first ones I like to talk about is sunscreen. So if you were to put sunscreen on, well, a lot of the sunscreen is not reef safe. It has a bunch of chemicals in it that's not safe for the tiny little coral polyps. So if you put sunscreen on and get in the water, well, the water's actually going to wipe it off. and well, you're gonna kill those coral polyps. So it's very important that when you go to the store and you're buying sunscreen, that you find reef safe sunscreen. Also, touch. Now once you get on, if you decide to go snorkeling with us, the first thing they're going to tell you is you cannot raisin. That those coral polyps do have a slimy protective layer over them that do protect them from a lot of the bacteria in the ocean, the naturally occurring bacteria. And humans are naturally occurring, and we have a bacteria off, and once you wipe it off, and once they get a bacterial infection, well, like you or I, they don't survive. So you could actually kill a whole colony of these coral polyps just by touching a single one coral polyp to the next. Now, there's also another reason that you shouldn't touch it or take it, especially if you don't know what you're doing down there. Shards of glass coming up out of it, and it has white edges on the top of it. Now, if you were to go snorkeling down there and you touch it, well, it's gonna burn you, because it hurts so bad. And you're gonna do just that, but you fish on our starboard side, our right side, and it looks like 4 posts sticking up out of the water. Well, on top of that, there used to be a house. It looked like any ordinary house, but it was a lighthouse. So there was a light at the top of it. You want to see what that looked like? There's a picture at the back counter. But it said that Ernest Hemingway came out here, and well, he came out here for inspiration. But more than likely, he came out here with a couple friends, couple decks of cards, and a couple bottles. And well, that was his inspiration. Now, as you can see, it's no longer there. That's because the last people seen to be leaving it in the 70s was a group of teenagers. And then shortly, someone burnt it down. Now I get asked if we ever caught the people that burnt it down. No. And by now, they're pretty old, well into their adulthood. So there's no use in looking for them. Now, we're making our way over to the rock jetty. It's a man-made rock jetty, and they did put the rocks down there to help prevent erosion and help prevent the Northwest Channel from being filled in with slip. Now, if you're one of the brave ones that's looking down there, and you're seeing a bunch of grass, well, that's actually seagrass. We call it turtle grass because, well, you can probably guess who likes to eat that turtle grass, are sea turtles. Now that grass does produce some pinkish white flowers, really pale pink. And it gets anywhere from 4 inches to 24 inches. Now mixed in with it is our manatee seagrass. And that, it sort of looks like a skinny vine or stems. And you can probably guess who likes to eat that, the manatees. And then the last most common type of seagrass out here is actually on top of the ocean, and it floats. And it's that brown stuff that's floating in the ocean called sargassum seagrass. And well, it does float because it has legs. Now it does actually grow on top of the water. And all sorts of creatures live in it, from tiny little crabs to tiny little shrimps. Now as we approach the rock jetty, we're going to see some fish out here. This is one of my favorite fish to talk about, are the sergeant majors. Now the sergeant majors, they're about the size of your palm, and they have black and gold bars on them. Now these sergeant majors, when they do decide to mate, well, the female will clean off an area of the reef, lay her neon purple eggs, and after she's done laying her neon purple eggs, well, she's done with her job. She packs her bags and goes on vacation. And she leaves the nest to the male to guard. Now he does do just that. He actually takes this so
Watch the
seriously
fish. See the fish?
that he will change colors. He will change colors from a gold and black to a blue and black, letting everybody on the reef know that he is guarding his nest. There's one right there. Even you, that striped fish right there. Now, if you were to go down there on our snorkeling tour, there's those gold and black striped fish. There's some wrasses. If you're
Yeah,
go on our
fish.
snorkeling tour, you
See
get
a
too
fish?
close to these sergeant majors, too close to their nest, well, they're not going to be very happy with you. They're actually going to come up into your snorkeling mask and they will run into you, trying to get you to move. Well, you're not going to move because you think it's pretty cool. There's a tiny little fish that doesn't have teeth that close to you. And well, you're just going to watch it. He's going to leave and he's going to go get about 15 to 20 more of his friends and they're all going to do the exact same thing. They're going to try and get you to leave. Now, it's a fish about the size of my palm and it doesn't have any teeth. So if you're scared of a tiny little fish with no teeth, well, you're probably a pool person. Yeah, there's some grunts down there. Those guys are a brownish color. And they do grunt. That's why they're named grunts. They actually have teeth in the back of their throat that they grind together that make this grunting noise. So if you're to pull them up out of the
See
water,
it? See the
they
fish?
would grunt at you.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
There's
See the fish?
parrotfish down there. I just saw a few.
Where the fish? You
Those
see
are some
it?
of my favorite fish. The rainbow parrotfish,
Yeah.
specifically, are some of my favorite fish, just because they're so colorful. They have colors of the rainbow. Now, there's a few other different types that we'll see out here. There is a stoplight parrotfish, which it has the same colors as a stoplight, a green, yellow, red. And there's a midnight parrotfish. It has, well, it's a dark blue, black looking fish. Now these parrotfish get anywhere from 1 to 2 feet long and they're plump fish. Now they're not called parrotfish because they can fly. And they're not called parrotfish because they have feathers. They most certainly do not have feathers and they most certainly do not fly because they're fish. They're called parrotfish because their mouth sort of looks like a parrot's beak. Now that's for a very important reason. They like to eat the algae off the coral. Now they do have some of the sharpest teeth in the world. When they eat that algae off the coral, they'll actually take tiny bits and pieces of the coral. In which that coral, that exoskeleton, is limestone. So they take that limestone and, well, they have to digest it. There's those sergeant majors. They have to digest it, and then eventually it comes out the back end. And you guys all know that digested limestone as parrotfish poop, as sand. These guys are capable of producing about 70% of the sand on the Florida beaches. So the next time you go to one of our beaches, or Fort Zachary Pier, about 70% of that soft, squishy sand you're squishing between your toes is parrotfish poop. Now, we have some mangrove snappers out here, and they're very closely related to the yellowtail snappers. They look just like the yellowtail snappers, but they don't have a yellow tail. Now, they have a different name on Duval Street. On Duval Street, their name is Catch of the Nick. That's because you just have to chum the water, stick your hook in there, and they go into a feeding frenzy, and they'll actually bite onto your hook. Now, who wants to know about the sharks? Sharks? Anyone? Yeah? Alright. So, as you can tell, all the fish down here are pretty small. So if one of the great whites or the makos were to come in here looking for a meal, Well, it'd be like you having a single chicken nugget for dinner. It'd still be pretty hangry. So a lot of them do not come in here looking for dinner. And as you can tell, we're only about 4 feet from the bottom. So there's not a lot of room for those sharks to move around in. And the bigger fish live in deeper water. So we don't tend to find any of those great whites or those mango sharks. If we do, well, they're probably just changing bodies of water swimming through. Now, we do have one resident shark out, and, well, a lot of people like to compare it to a lazy dog. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're to go down there and bother it, touch its tail, it's probably going to flip around and bite you. And its name is a nurse shark. Now, if it was to bite you, you're probably going to go to the emergency room with this shark attached. That's because it has a special set of muscles in its mouth called a buccal
Don't get on
pump.
there.
Now this buccal pump not only helps it hold on to your finger, but it also helps it breathe and eat. This buccal pump will actually pump water over its gills, helping to oxygenate the shark.
Stop.
And well, so we tend to find that shark laying down in the soft sandy bottom, so it does not need to keep moving, unlike a lot of the other sharks. There's a bunch of those mangrove snappers over here. Now this shark, the buccal pump also helps it eat. It likes to eat what I like to eat. It likes to eat lobsters and crabs. Those guys, well, they're nocturnal and they tend to hide in the holes in the reef. So that shark's mouth, when there's shark, its mouth is on the bottom of its face, which also helps it eat. Now around its mouth, there's one of those big parrotfish. Around its mouth it has black dots, and those are called electroreceptors. Those electroreceptors will actually pick up the heartbeat of that lobster. And, well, it'll find the hole that lobster is in and put its mouth over the hole because it's on the bottom of its face and suck that lobster right out like a vacuum using its buccal pump. Now while it's doing all this, it sounds like an infant nursing. That's why it's called a nurse shark.
Excuse me, Hannah, I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but unfortunately this time we have come to the end of our viewing time here in the Gulf of Mexico, so we're going to pull off the jetty, pick up some speed, start to make our way back towards Key West. We'll see what happens with the sunset. I would like to thank you, though. That was once again a fantastic presentation.
Thank you guys, and if you have any questions, I'll be out at the back.
Come on.